Welcome to a brand new episode of the post game. I am your host, Davion, and I'm joined by Elijah
You,
and David.
Yo,
How we doing, y'all?
fine and dandy on this fine Sunday. Very cold, but very fine and dandy.
I agree.
can't complain. Just got off work, so tired.
Good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good too, man. You know, life just keeps on going. But today we are back with a NBA video. And we're gonna go through the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. But today we're gonna start off with the Eastern Conference. So first I'm gonna say all of the rankings right now, from 1 to 15 in the East, and then we'll talk about each team from bottom to top. At number 1, we got the Bucks, and number 2, the Celtics. Number 3, the Cavaliers. Number 4, the Hawks. Number 5, we have the Wizards. Number 6, the Pacers at 6-6. At 7, the Raptors at 7-7. At 8, Bulls. 9, the Nets. Number 10, we got the Knicks. 11, outside of the playoffs right now, the 76ers. 12, the Heat. Magic at number 13. Charlotte Hornets at number 14. And then the Pacers at number 15. All right. Starting off from top to, well, for this instant reaction, how do we feel about that?
Wait, you said the Pacers at 15?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Instant
Pacers
reactions
not
about
at
it.
50. Pistons.
Oh, yeah, Pistons. I'm sorry, not Pacers. I
Yeah,
apologize.
not Pacers.
Hey.
Yeah, that's on me. I just misspoke. I'm sorry. So straight off the bat, how do we look at this? Like, is this a little weird to y'all? I mean, we see the 76ers and the Miami Heat, who are two of the dominant teams in the East, so-called, aren't even in the playoffs right now.
76ers, they dealing with injuries. Not James Harden. He's gonna be out for a month or whatever. Even before the injury, James Harden, he looked like old James Harden. I feel like they'll get back to their ways once he's back. And then, Embiid still balling. He just dropped 42 last night. I mean, Sixers, I feel like that's just like beginning of the season struggle.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll get to them in 1 second. But let's start off with the Pistons. At number 15, really bright future. A lot of people had them to, squeak their way into play-ins. It's still really early, but what realistically do we think will happen with the Pistons?
Yeah, I thought the Pistons was really gonna be at least an upcoming good team. Just the additions they added. They got Bogey. They got Cade Cunningham coming like another year. Just Bagley. Who they got someone else.
Jade Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy, Durant. I think it's just because they're young or whatever. So I just feel like it just takes some time. But I wouldn't be surprised they'll make it to like 10 seed play in.
Okay. So I mean, I'm with you on the first part of what you said. I think they're still very young. And I think there's too many other teams in the East that are really good. I mean, especially when we have, the Heat and the 76ers outside the playoffs right now. And so yeah, I feel like, the Pistons, they're 2 seasons away from being, notably aggressive in the playoffs, or a team that can make the play in because of their youth, and because it just takes time with that young core, to really start fitting and gelling together. But yeah, man, that's how I feel about the Pistons. You got anything on the Pistons?
Nope, I agree with everything y'all said.
Well, moving on to number 14, the Charlotte Hornets. David, your team. What's going on, man? Sitting at 14.
I mean, I'm not surprised without Ball. I mean, Ball just returned yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Ball, I would expect us to be like at least average like 6-6, 7-7, something like that. But I mean, obviously we adjusting with this season with a new coach, and then no Bridges, and then just trying to find out what young guys we can plug in and stuff, and just how we can just basically be that team like we have been like the past 3 years. Just that chemistry, we just all chemistry and just injuries. So I just feel like I don't know. I feel like it's not a lost season. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it was a lost season because higher draft odds, but I mean, it's still a lot of work to do. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they make the play either.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think, they too are a team full of, young stars. And I think and like you said, Ball just came back this season. I mean, this week. I think if I'm a Hornets fan or I'm a Hornets player, like I'm not mad if we don't make it this season. It gives us time to grow together with our new head coach. It gives us time to understand what we need to do next year coming in. Maybe next year you can go out and get the pieces that you really want. I mean, losing Miles Bridges this offseason was really big because he was supposed to be your dominant guy. He's supposed to be your max contract guy, and now he's not even going to play this season at all, I don't think. So maybe next season he can come back and play. But right now he's definitely not going to play, right? Right, David?
I mean, I don't know. If he most likely they'll sign him because he's a restricted free agent, so they'll match any offer. If he wanted to sign the season, but I feel like he'll usually when any domestic violence case. I hate to say it for the NBA, it's only a few games, and then
Uh,
count.
I mean, no, I think the NBA is pretty harsh. Not as harsh as the NFL. I mean, NFL will give you a whole season. I think personally, I think
Yeah,
he'll get an entire season too. I don't think he'll play at all this season.
Oh,
yeah.
just you can look it up. There've been a whole bunch of domestic violence cases in the NBA, whatever. They only got suspended for a few games, but I mean that was back then. I know now it's more a sensitive time in the world, so it just all depends. But I feel like he'll get a significant amount, but not like the whole season though. But I wouldn't be surprised if he got the whole season.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Yeah, I definitely think this season you might as well just chalk this one up for the Hornets. I think, I mean, I do think their the head coach that they brought back. I don't remember his name. What's his name?
Steve Clifford.
Yeah, Clifford. Yeah, I think he is more defensive minded, right, with a little bit more discipline. So I think these young dudes really need to understand like what type of player, like what type of head coach he is, and so they can look forward to the future with him as their head coach. Moving on to 13, the Hornets, Orlando Magics. They are 4-9, which are like 2 games behind the Heat. Are they disappointing you right now? Anybody? Are you
Well,
disappointed
no,
by what the Magic are doing?
not really. Young team again. Number one pick. I mean, still got to find his way through the league. Not surprised. I mean, I've been actually surprised on they've been pretty decent the game and the games they lost. They've been dog fights too. So it just
I agree.
I love seeing the Magic play, and then I gotta get on you, Bobo. I mean, prove everybody wrong, but hey,
It's still early.
it's early. But shoot, we gonna progress through the season.
You're right. You got a point. I mean, watching Banchero, right? Yeah, watching him this season, he is a force, man. He's definitely came in and really put on for this team and has definitely showed that he's come to take that number one spot as a real captain on this team. And I mean, some of these numbers that I think he's averaged 23 points, 8 boards, 3 assists. I mean, he's played some good basketball for a rookie, and I think that'll just get better and better over time. I mean, their last 5 games, Dallas, OKC, who are a talented young team, Golden State, with who they actually beat, Sacramento Kings they lost to, and then the Rockets, who they lost to as well. I mean, it's they haven't been playing easy teams, but they definitely need to start squeezing some more wins outside if they're looking to make a difference this season. Um, yeah, moving on. Next team at number 12, Heat. So as a Heat fan, right now we are 6-7, and number 7 in the East right now is 7-7. So I mean they're a game behind. So it's like I think when I look at 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8 and 7 and 6, if you want to argue, which is at 6-6, they are all like these are all interchangeable. All
Yeah.
these teams in this gap can move around because they're all either tied in record or split by a game or two. And so it's really early to call, but the Heat, they're a playoff team, right? They Jimmy Butler's a playoff
They,
god. Yeah.
they really tending to you.
Yeah, and so I think when you look at the Heat, like they're gonna give you, very minimum in the regular season. They're not gonna put up any any records of wins ever. But when they get to the playoffs, that's when the dogs start to come out. And so I think it's still early. I think they will make the playoffs. I think there's a really good team. Max Strus has been playing lights out these days.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it. Like I love the kid. He 3-and-D, and he plays good, and he can shoot that thing to the best of his ability. I think he had 30. Yeah, he had 31 the other night against Charlotte. I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
Charlotte. Huh?
I said, yeah, he had 31 against Charlotte.
Yeah, and I mean, and he shot 8 for 14. I mean, that's good basketball, man. He is shooting pretty good basketball, and I'm excited to see like what they do with the rest of the team. I mean, like I said, the Heat are a playoff team, so it'll just take them time to really figure out what they need and what they really want. Um, go ahead.
One thing, I
Yeah,
mean, don't eye on Struce because he have been in trade rooms for Jay Crowder. They actually actively talking about it right now. So
with Strus in the package.
yeah, Struce and Jay Crowder swap.
Ooh, oh. I mean, Crowder, he's a defensive dog. He would help a lot, and he can shoot that thing too. Um,
Yeah.
but Max Shoes, I mean, I think
I'll
he's
take than Max.
huh
Just with that team, I'll take Jay than Max.
for the Heat.
Yeah, because the Heat is just basically they always been based off of defense and shooting too.
Yeah,
Like
that's
three,
how explosive coaches. I mean, I agree with that statement, but at the same time, it's like he's really found a home in Miami, man, and he's been playing really good for Miami recently. So, I mean,
He
I don't
even worked
know.
his way to the top too because he started off on the bench and now he's
Yeah.
starting to start now. So
I mean, it's just like Duncan Robinson. I mean, Duncan Robinson, I would say though, I watched a couple games this season, believe it or not, of basketball. And Robinson, like he got a lot of slack last season in the playoffs for not being that. I mean, for not being able to play defense, so they benched him pretty much. But I would say he's been playing better defense, and he's been facilitating the basketball more when he's in. So I think he's definitely using his chances when he gets them. And so, I mean, if we have to move on from Max Strus, Duncan Robinson just fit that spot, and shooting that thing because he's cold from three, like ice cold from three. So if we have to move on from him, we got a replacement Duncan Robinson who we're paying a lot of money to anyway. So it wouldn't be too bad. Here's a question for you, David, or Elijah too. Do we still believe in Kyle Lowry?
I always said when he got to the Heat, I never expected him to be like a whole Toronto Raptor Kyle Lowry. You got a whole lot of Jimmy Butler, you got Bam, you got all these pieces around him. Like he's still playmaking. Like that's all he's really there to do. Like play a little bit of defense, a little bit of grit, hustle, whatever. Like I mean, I didn't expect nothing too extravagant. I mean, I still believe in him in his role or whatever. He's still capable of his role. So
yeah, I'll say he's just playing his role, but nah.
So here's a
don't know.
stat line. Here's what he's averaged this season, and I'm saying this just to help my question. So he's averaging 13, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Is that enough for him? Like, is that
that is
enough? Is that productive enough for the Heat?
That's average. That's average.
that's very perfect.
But like pretty much David was saying, that's average. That's not a bad stat line, but that's not, people expecting like the Kyle
Your
Lowry
starting
from
point guard, yeah.
Raptors. They expecting that out of him, at least getting 20 points per game, 5 rebounds. That's kind of pretty much a lot for,
Somebody that high.
yeah, but
I mean,
other thing else, 6 is not bad. So yeah.
okay. I just want
But
to.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think his stat line is bad at all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Not for the Heat.
yeah, that stat line is actually pretty great. I feel like say if Jimmy was out the whole season, I feel like that whole stat line would change. That whole Kyle Lowry would come back, whatever. So it's just like it's basically basketball is based off of fit, just what you can do better for the team.
Yeah.
I don't know what Kyle Lowry is really capable of. Like,
Yeah. So I mean, My comments about Kyle Lowry are, I don't know. I feel like for your starting point guard, I want a little bit more.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
expect
Well, let me fit. I think he's good. He's getting old. Yes or no? I think Euro is starting to move into that spot as well. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what Miami do for that point guard position. Moving on, 76ers at number 11. Like I said, these records in this and from 6 to 12 are all the same. Um, but yes, 76ers. How do we feel their season has started off? David, you touched on this a little bit earlier.
First few games was I know they lost the first three, but then they started like kind of winning, whatever. It was just I don't know. It was a slow start, and then
Yeah.
James Harden. I know this will be his first full year with the 76ers and just finding those pieces or whatever. Plugging them all in. The acquisitions from the all season. I feel like no. I mean it been pretty much expected, especially with an injury like James Harden too. Yeah, it was pretty much expected, but I mean season gonna get better. We all know the 76ers is gonna be up in that race.
So here's a question for you. Do you think Doc Rivers is the guy that can lead them to a what's the word? Help me out. Finals?
finals.
Is Doc Rivers the coach for the 76ers? Help me out. Let me see.
Ah, it's
Uh-oh.
hard. It's hard because we seen him do this stuff in Boston or whatever.
And in LA.
Clippers.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just based off the team's discipline, and then just getting to know your players. I mean, he got new players the whole time he was at freaking in Philadelphia with Jimmy. Then you're gonna switch to Ben Simmons. You're gonna switch to James Harden. Like,
But ain't his style of coaching is different as well? Ain't he's like mostly like a defensive coach too, like that? Like he
no,
mostly focused on defense.
he mostly focused.
I think
He
he's
for
more of an
most,
offensive guy. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But see, here's a question. But I mean, to your point, David, kind of, with discipline, shouldn't your head coach be that guy to discipline your team? Like, shouldn't you be like that dude who can tell them like when they need to get it together and play good basketball? Because we've seen over the past 3 seasons that he's been there. I think it's been three or four seasons he's been there. Like when it comes down to the playoffs and to the nitty gritty, like it doesn't work for him. And
I
and
wouldn't,
he's and they failed. They have failed the past 4 seasons. They failed.
but I wouldn't say all that. All that stuff is not on just the coach. Like
I agree. I agree with that statement.
you got players not showing up in big moments and stuff too. Like all that stuff is not on the coach. He's trying his best to his game plan, and like he been succeeding in the regular season. He's just trying to fit that into the playoffs. But some players don't step up in big moments. I mean, obviously,
Right.
some coaching can be like a little bit iffy with him, but like I feel like he doing his job. Like he's not a bad coach, like people say.
I agree.
It's just I don't know. It's just trying to figure out what to do to succeed and like how to get these because his team is they subpar young too. Trying to get the young team just whatever or young players on the team to step up in big moments too.
I mean, but you got the likes of Tyrese Maxey, who we saw last year at the end of the playoffs, in that elimination game. We saw him visibly upset because the team just wasn't performing or they weren't playing to the standards of Maxey, to the standards of like effort at all. I mean, because let's be real, last season there was no effort shown from that team. No, well, not from that whole entire team last season in the playoffs. It looked like they were lackluster. It looked like they didn't want to play. So here's another question: If they don't make it to the finals this season, is Doc Rivers gone?
No, he wouldn't be gone.
I don't think he'd be gone.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone. I mean, he's had 4 seasons. He's had arguably 3 good teams that they should have made it with. I think he's done after this season. Listen, I think here's the thing because we are looking at it from let's say a Hornets perspective. Let's just say that because we've seen Hornets coaches, get a little bit of the time to figure it out. I feel like he would be that city of Philadelphia would not let him come back next season. They won't. And so I think Doc Rivers he'd be fired. And I don't think I
I'll
personally
probably say what they'll do. So they probably will fire him next season, but I think what they'll probably do, they'll probably give him like another chance and probably do like a Steve Nash, like see if he do the same performance like he do next year, and then they'll probably get rid of him.
Granted, I think that's what this is now. Like, I think right now, if we get to the All-Star break, or if we get to, because when's the All-Star? In March? February?
No.
It's like
February?
Marshall, one of those two.
So let's say we get to January, right? And they are under 500 out of the playoffs. Do you still don't think they'll say, okay, Doc, time for you to go?
But that's if they under the if they's not still in the playoffs, like
that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like he's in
right.
the hot seat, and I feel like it like if they could pull the trigger to get Doc
Mind
Rivers
you,
gone.
it's still too early, so you never know.
Well,
So
yeah, obviously.
And to see if they wasn't succeeding all 4 of those seasons. They succeeded all 4 of those seasons. Got legit one game close from the finals. All 4 of those seasons. I mean, like, I wouldn't even fire no coach, and we still getting there or whatever. It's just obviously plug in pieces.
Well, but to that, we saw the Hornets fire their head coach when he gotten them better and better each season.
But
right?
The thing is, though, with the Hornets, they had a bunch of you saw this all season, a bunch of young dumb nuts.
Yeah, you're right.
JB, he's more of a chill type person. Like he wasn't putting the law down. Doc, he been putting down the law for his whole coaching term. I mean, it was just like I said, with the Philadelphia stint, it's just different players he had to adjust to, different star players at that he had to adjust to.
Listen, hear me now, and hear me now. I feel like I think Doc Rivers, if they don't achieve the finals this season, he's gone. And if he's not in the play-in, he's gone early.
I feel like if he get fired though, it wouldn't make any sense because I honestly feel like they'll just hire D'Antoni or another offensive minded coach, or just something like D'Antoni because they got the whole basically Philadelphia Rockets over there. I feel
he not? Is he? He's there now, isn't he? I thought he was an assistant.
No, he actually looking for a job. He's not on the team.
I thought he was an assistant last season in Brooklyn.
Yeah, assistant last season.
Okay, so
it was Clifford.
Huh?
Clifford was the assistant.
No, D'Antoni was too.
No, it was Kenny Atkinson you thinking about. D'Antoni, no.
Not at all. Well, anyway, moving on.
Perfect. You might be actually right because Kenny.
I think I'm 100% right. I'm definitely right.
Kenny Atkinson part of the Warriors. I'm tripping.
Yeah, he was. I just looked it up. He was a Brooklyn Nets assistant because he sat right beside your boy who got fired. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. New York Knicks. How do we feel about the Knicks, man? Sitting at number 10 in the play-in.
Hey, I actually. Knicks, they've been pretty.
I don't think that's like a bad, spot for them, to be honest.
I don't either.
Knicks been looking pretty good to me. So.
Hey,
yeah.
E from New York. Let him go first. Go ahead, E.
I don't got nothing to say. I'm
sorry. No, so here's the thing. I watched a couple of Knicks games this season, and I would say from the start, like, because I watched that first Knicks game. I don't remember who they played. I watched that first game, and I also watched one like last week. And I would say Jalen Brunson is fitting into that role in New York so well, like almost to perfection. Like he's understanding what he has to do to facilitate that offense, but at the same time, he is continuing. I heard something. At the same time, he is still being able to score at will when he wants to. So that's what I would say. Just watching him play into that system, into that role of like number one, and like I'm a number one, and I need to show y'all I'm a number one, has been amazing to watch.
And then seeing Cam Reddish and Obi Toppin really step up And then Julius Randle's past 4 games, bro.
Evan Fournier.
Man. I feel like
Jalen
no.
Brunson. Listen, Jalen Brunson's averaged 19, 3 boards, and 7 assists. That works for that works, right?
Yeah, for that team, yeah, you got RJ being the main scorer.
He's averaging 19 as well.
And then Randall, the second primary scorer. I feel like, yeah, Randall will be the second primary, and then Jalen's the third primary scorer. So yeah, that's perfect. And then Cam Reddish, that boy,
He's shooting that thing, David.
Be different. And then Obi, he's shooting 40% this season. He can't just. I thought he was just a dunker. Shoot, he done shot me. Them boys can move.
Listen, if they all like understand their roles that they want to be in, and they all like play the basketball that like as a team, they like on a team, they have every piece that you need. But you know, if any of them get selfish and single-handedly think that I can do this by myself, that's when they will lose. But if they continue to play as a team, they'll be a good team. Mitchell Robinson's a dog too. I like him a lot.
Oh yeah, Big Mitch.
Yeah, but moving on, man. Brooklyn Nets at 9. Just fired Steve Nash a couple weeks ago, or last week, I think it was. How do we feel about this new Brooklyn team?
The past games they
won.
you said they lost.
They won last night.
Yeah, these past games ever since they fired big old Steve, man. I don't know. I feel like it's more with Vaughn. I think I saw him coach before. Yeah, he was always defensive minded, and then they really clicking in on that defensive end. And so I think I saw a post. It was like these past games since he coached, they've been held the teams to 94 points per game or lower. And I was like, it's just basically they just trying to figure out that defense. I know Stephen Nash, he was an offensive type player. So obviously he probably fit in that offensive scheme to Nets, but they got too much offense already. You need to teach them defense. And then so I guess that's all clicking in now. And then Ben Simmons, I mean, he took off 2 years from basketball. I mean, if you're taking off 2 years from basketball, you got to find that confidence back. Ben Simmons, I feel like ain't by next season, nothing he gonna come back to being Ben Simmons. It's just fitting in, especially with a new team. He got a new role. He third option. I mean,
what about this season though for Ben Simmons?
For real, what about this season? We ain't talking about next season or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like this season, Ben Simmons just find your way back to the NBA or find your way back to your confidence, Ben Simmons. That's why Kyrie, it was one post I saw. He was like, shoot the ball, Ben, shoot the ball. It's just about a confidence rebuilding type season. I feel like, I mean, he's still going to be at least solid enough for the team. But next season, I feel like he's going to come back to really Ben Simmons.
I mean, so do you think Ben Simmons, like, because listen, I never pray on anybody's downfall, especially his. I mean, he's been through a lot. Do you think, because right now, it's crazy looking at these numbers. Right now, he's averaging 5 points. He has 6 boards and 6 assists. Like, where do you think Ben should be at?
Honestly, I mean, I wouldn't say bench him because that's not going to find his confidence. Like, this is the start of the season. I mean, this is, like I said, a new team behind KD, Kyrie, and then you got other fill-in pieces or whatever. It's just find him back. I wouldn't bench him just because he put up 5.
I didn't say anything about benching him.
No, I was just saying because that's IG comment saying like they should bench him or whatever.
Yeah.
Bull, because I mean he stopper still at the end of the day.
That'll kill him. That'll kill him. That'll kill his mental.
Yeah. So I mean I feel like he's doing what he needs to do. Like these past 3 games, they've been winning. Like they don't need Ben Simmons to score. I mean, he's not a primary scorer anyway.
Good point.
He doing his role. Like what kind of Kyrie doing? Like that 6. What's overlooked is that 6 assists and that 6 rebounds. Out for a spot too. Like Come on. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with
Oh,
being.
it's not overlooked at all.
So where do
I'm
you?
not.
What'd you say, Elijah?
So I'm not overlooking it.
So where do y'all have Brooklyn finishing this season?
I think I projected them to like be a top team in the East or like even make the finals. I mean, I still
Six.
somewhat feel like that. I wouldn't say 6. That's low, very low. I'll say probably like
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
4,
low.
4 or 3.
I think 4 and 3 is high.
I think that's high.
Yes.
You got.
I don't think they're better than the Cavs. I don't think they're better than the Celtics, and I definitely don't think they're better than the Bucks.
Good
So
point. That's
4.
a good point.
4.
Who else we got?
They better than
and
the
if you say 4, and if you say 4, that's debatable, maybe.
What about? I mean,
But
it's early. What
it's
about Miami and
it's
Philly at the
early.
bottom?
Exactly that too. So there's other teams that can take those spots. So I can't really say nothing right now, but I definitely don't give them 4th. Definitely don't.
On paper, really, they really are better than Miami just by the team wise, like the fit and pieces. And that's why the record too. I mean, it states they better than Miami too.
No,
I
they're
mean,
tied. They're tied right now with Miami in records at 6 and 7.
They are.
Huh?
Oh,
The
shit.
whole 12th through 8th is tied.
I just told you that, David.
No,
So
shoot.
Yeah, it's
it's
still
real
early.
That's why I don't know where you coming from.
Like to me, I think you could put them 4 to 8. That's where I rank them. Somewhere in that gap.
Yeah.
You can say 4 to 4. 8 is deep.
Huh?
You can say,
I would nah, I think it stops at 8. I would say that.
Yeah, it won't go no lower than 8.
It's
Obviously.
not lower than 8, yeah.
it's not lower than 7. It's not lower than play.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, moving on. The Chicago Bulls, man, they are sitting same thing, 6 and 7 at number 8 right now. How do we feel about them? Are they a little underwhelming yet this season, or how are we feeling? I think they've had some injuries.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. It's pretty expected because Zoe, I mean, the main playmaker, main defender,
Yeah.
he actually shoot that thing too. I mean, Zoe is actually a huge piece, huge subtraction from the team. I mean, so it was kind of expected. I think they can go to Caruso stats real quick.
Yes, sir.
Because I think he been someone to subpar too.
Yeah. Did he? I don't think he played last night. He might be banged up. So I mean, Caruso right now he's averaging 5 points, three boards, and 4 assists. That's definitely not enough.
Yeah,
definitely.
And they play tonight, so I mean, he's not banged up, but they play tonight.
Game was 9 points.
I mean, but Caruso's never been a scorer. His job is.
We're not talking about scoring wise, but like not even that.
He's a defensive player, isn't he?
He is a defensive player, but 5 points is crazy. At least 10. He was averaging 10 last year.
Well, remember. Here's the thing about like NBA players is that we don't see some of the great NBA players who are elite scorers on offense. We don't see them play defense, just like we don't see great defensive players killing it on offense because you can't. I mean, some of them can, but you can't be great at both of them. You know what I mean?
No.
Like you know what I mean? Like you can't sit because you burn too much energy during a game. You can't give it 150, and that's why I mean, unless you're like Jimmy Butler, who can do that, because that's just one of the players that first came to my mind, who can play scrap up defense and then go shoot you lights out in the midi. Like that, like Jimmy Butler's one of those dudes who can. And I feel like, DeMar DeRozan.
That too.
Huh?
Before Kawhi got hurt, Kawhi was like that too.
Oh, definitely. Kawhi was.
Player too. So
you could say Clay. What'd you say, David?
Clay was a two-way.
PG would have been the best two-way before anybody.
PG, yeah, but not now. No.
I mean, I think
offense this year.
He's been dogging on offense this season.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what about it?
Uh-oh.
Offense this
That boy
year?
scored 31.
He's been
Not
hooping.
last game. He had 17 last game.
17 is still a bucket.
I mean, that worked for that team. They had a lot of scorers on that team, though. But
Yeah, I'm just used to seeing PG at least when Kawhi's out, at least, get you a 30 point
yeah.
per game.
I mean, but when they have scorers like John Wall on that team and some of the other ones, like that ball has to be spread around.
Yeah.
But in clutch time, I think I've seen him do a lot better. I mean, Gordon Dragic has come into this team and done his job too. I mean, he's not killing it, but he's giving you 10 points a game. And that works for them, right? And so I mean, it's the little scores that you need to really keep a team going. Like you gotta get some help from the others.
And that's another thing why I'm not too pissed off about Caruso numbers. They got a heck of guards. They got Ayo. They got Goran. They got
Kobe White.
Kobe. Yeah, that's why I'm not really tripping about the numbers. They just really balancing out between the point guard position because that main point.
I agree. But moving on, we got the Toronto Raptors. Preseason, during our preseason podcast about the NBA, we got murdered. Or I got murdered at least for talking about the Raptors. So here we go, man. Toronto Raptors, they are looking good. I mean, they're looking 7-7. That team is they're lengthy and they can all shoot that thing too. And they can all get above the rim. So Toronto is definitely a team that I gotta put some respect on because they're playing good basketball right now.
Yeah, Toronto always had respect. I always seen them like they just really a team, like star player. Just they know how to play ball.
I completely agree. They have definitely put me into perspective about like Scotty Barnes have been playing good basketball. And I'm really appreciating watching them play right now. Moving on though, the Indiana Pacers, we got murdered for talking about them as well. How do we think they are right now sitting at 6?
Pacers, man, Ben is him. I always had big hopes on Ben coming out the draft. Ben is him. I don't know. And then Tyrese, he found. I know he got traded. I think it was last season. So this is his first full year with the Pacers. Even De'Aaron said it like y'all traded a franchise starting point guard, and he's actually showing that he got signs of being a franchise starting point guard. I mean, just that team is just really fit. I really like it. I mean, I wouldn't give up no Buddy or Miles Turner right now because I mean,
I was just about to ask you.
they doing their thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
Why would you want to, if you can't? What's that saying? If it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
Yeah.
Don't fix it.
So Lakers come to you right now, Russell Westbrook and those 2 first-round picks. You're not accepting.
What happened?
So if the Lakers come to you right now, hey, we got those 2 first-round picks you wanted. Give us Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, and we'll give you all those picks and Russell Westbrook. You're saying no. We like what we got right now.
Yeah, because they already a young team. Why are you trying to get some picks that's way in 2027, 2029, just to be more to do the same thing, develop young? We already young. Like, just keep going.
I completely agree. I mean, I think the Lakers, what their problem is they sat there and they allowed the Pacers to see if it was going to work out or not, when they should just gave those 2 picks early. And so now I'm the Pacers. My team is sitting at number 6 at 6-6 record. And you look at, Lakers, they're sitting at a 2-10 record. We still have leverage. I'm not sending my guys over there. And now you got to give me something else. Because I know that these 2 players, Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, can really attack and play good basketball. So now I want something else. Those 2 first-round picks ain't enough. And so now I think the Lakers are really pinching themselves because they should have made that decision months ago. But then they wanted to sit and see if Russell Westbrook would work, and the team is not working together. But we'll talk about that on another podcast. So yeah, I mean, Huh?
Russell Westbrook is working. I will say that.
I will not. I will refrain from my comments about Russell Westbrook right now.
We ain't
So how did so? Wait, here's a question: do we think the Pacers can stay in that playoff contention? Can they stay within like 10 and above?
I give them 10 and above. Yeah, not 10
Yeah,
and above. Yeah, 10 and above. Yeah,
Okay.
they can make the play. They can definitely make the play in.
yeah, they've been playing for the past 2 seasons. I mean, ain't no shocker. Even if they get locked in at the 7th spot, I wouldn't be surprised. That's the highest I got them going.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think they can stay above that 10 spot as well. Washington Wizards sitting at number 5. Is this a shock to anybody?
Nah, because remember,
Yeah, no.
I was very high on the Wizards, especially Kuz. Like you see Kuz 36 last night. I was getting judged by Davion the whole podcast, saying, "Oh, Kuz can't do this. Kuz get no, like he can step up. Kuz is that dog." And then you got I told you Porzingis. Porzingis is that dog.
I like
So
Porzingis though, so you can't say I said anything about him. I like Porzingis. I've always liked Porzingis.
you was that he better fake.
No, 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 no. I think Porzingis is definitely an elite scorer. And so chill
Elite
off.
score is crazy.
You don't think he's a
Elite
dominant?
score?
You don't think he's a dominant scorer in the league?
No, he's not an elite scorer. I think that time was been since
Yeah,
he left the Knicks. Since he
elite.
left the Knicks, he's not an elite scorer. No, because he's not the primary scorer. They have other people.
Elite scorer doesn't mean you have to be the primary scorer. Elite scorer is that
But he's not an
I
elite
mean, you can
scorer
get the ball
either.
whenever you need to and put a ball in the hole.
Yeah, elite.
No.
Elite is too far. Elite is a step.
Elite's too crazy.
I mean, do
Elite.
we think he's okay? So okay,
He's a
on our
scorer.
wait. On our
He's
tier
a
list,
scorer, but not an elite.
do you like on a scale of 1 to 10? Where do we put him scoring wise?
Not top 10.
No. Like not like top 10, but like
Six. I
his
give him six.
abilities. Like how
Six.
good is his
Six.
scoring? A 6?
Six.
Out of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Out of 1 to 10, I give him a 6.
Nah, I'll give him
That's Trish.
all around game, including offensive rebounding too.
I'm going 8 at least.
I was just gonna say 8.
At least an 8.
8.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's on any
7.5.
on any team, he is a number 2 option.
He wasn't like that on the Mavs.
Yes, he was. He was their number 2.
Well, they had plenty of number 2s.
Well, they definitely
say,
did, but like
about to
on
say.
any team in the NBA, he's their number 2 scorer, almost.
Yeah, that's facts.
Plain and
Yeah.
simple. That puts you as an elite scorer. I mean,
Yeah,
because is Kuz their number 2?
No, cool.
He's their number 3, maybe.
Yeah. No, I would say he's
Who's
number
number 3?
No. Kuzma is that's the number 2, I would say, behind Bill. And then you got Kristaps.
No, he's their number 2. Kristaps their number 2, in my opinion. He just is.
He even said in the interview the day he scored 36, coach just told him run the ball through Kuzma. Like Kuzma, that's his main thing to do is to score. Like Porzingis, his main thing to do is you can score, but it's not his main thing. It's really to try to play some defense and play defense and rebound.
Okay, no, right there, I debunk. I don't think. I think when you look at Porzingis, you look at someone who wants to score the basketball. I don't personally think I don't know. I don't like that statement. I think he's a scorer. That's it. That's what he wants to be. That doesn't mean he's that all day long, but I think he wants to be a scorer of the basketball.
I guess. But as I'm going for the Wizards, though, I'm not too surprised. The Wizards, Bill, I think he's been out most of the season, right?
Yes, he has been out for some of the season.
And I told you, Kuz was going to take that next step. So, because seeing him, he had leadership like LeBron.
Look at that point. I mean, Bill's been out, and now who's their number 1 scorer?
Kuz.
And who's their number? Oh, okay. I guess so. I guess so. Next up at number 4,
Yeah.
the Atlanta Hawks. So I watched a game or two of theirs this season. I watched one recently, and they kill people on that pick and roll, man. Like they murder people on that Trae Young and Clint Capella pick and roll.
And you still don't like Trae Young, so you be hating on the kid.
I will.
You don't give him props.
I will keep my opinions to myself. I mean,
yeah, keep it.
Is Trae Young's a defense? Can he play defense?
It's not about the defense, though.
This is the question.
He can facilitate the whole offense. He's a point guard.
You're right. You are 100% right. But he can also be a liability on defense. But anyway, let me go back to giving this dude praise until y'all can stop.
I know you could name one, but I was about to say, can you name a point guard that like has great defense?
Great.
Good.
Really?
Can I get good?
DeJounte.
I said good.
Yeah, David. DeJounte.
Besides DeJounte.
Let me see.
Yeah, he can play D.
That's another one.
Can you facilitate the offense?
Mike Conley.
Oh well, Chris Paul.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say
pretty
Chris
much
Paul as well.
So pretty much your whole Chris Paul too. Pretty much your whole point. Pretty much like your whole point was somebody's gonna have a downfall on either one of those things. Either it's gonna be they defense suck, but they offense good. They offense suck, but they defense good. So,
and then he's not him to play defense at that size.
Exactly. Look at his size too.
But I'm just saying, like late in the playoffs, when I'm just saying, but
we almost up there with him.
Late in the playoffs, when everyone's gonna have to play defense, because in the playoffs, everyone has to play defense, right?
Agreed.
Okay, that playoff series where they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, he didn't play a lick of defense, led that team with offense.
I mean, I would say that was a luck season, man. They got that was a fluke. All those teams that they played were banged up.
Flukes is crazy.
Was it not?
A fluke is crazy. I wouldn't say. Granted, teams was suffering injury.
All those teams that they played were banged up.
I wouldn't say those wins are fluke. They beat the 76ers. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's not saying much with Doc Rivers coaching.
And Tyrese Maxey, they still had a team. Tobias Harris. 76ers still had a squad, and they still beat the 76ers.
At that point, Tobias Harris was a clown. Let's be real. He wasn't putting on. He was not putting on.
But they went to a game 7.
A game 7.
I understand.
The whole Hawks team showed up and beat the 76ers. A team that everybody said the 76ers was going to make it to the conference final or possibly make it to the finals, and they didn't. They lost to the Hawks. So where are your point on that? What are you talking about?
My point
is not a fluke. Don't say it's a fluke.
My point is
don't
they
say
played.
The
they played a terribly.
Do not say that game was. Don't say it was a fluke.
That's the point. Doc Rivers was exposed.
But Trae was the only player on that team. You got
on team going crazy, dropping 40 balls, 30 balls, and averaging 10 plus assists. What are you talking about? Facilitating the whole offense.
He's in the whole offense. That's the point.
Put some respect on my man Trae Young's name. Put some respect on his name, please. I'm sick of it.
Listen, he did that. Your boy. Wait. Hold on, David. Hold on, because I'm about to.
Yeah, look at his stats now. Look at his stats now.
Your boy is shooting 38% from the field.
That's not bad. What are you talking about?
30% from 3. You mean that's not bad? That's definitely not.
I mean, if he's the offense, if he's scoring as well,
he's the whole offense. That's it.
But what is his points per game? What is his points per game?
37.
All right then.
How many shots? You know how many shots he's taking a game? Okay then. All right.
Like a lot. So that's not bad.
Their whole offense. He has 30 points because he can shoot 30 times. Make it make sense. Okay. Exactly. So you sit there.
But what's his assist? What's his assist?
Sit down. Just sit down.
He can't facilitate. But listen. You say he the only scorer, but look at his assist stats. Read them out. All right, then he's still facilitating the ball. He's still being a point guard on the team. What are you talking about?
And then
and scoring on top.
But you know how I started the argument? I said that pick and roll with Clint Capella works every time for them. I was affirming that he can assist the ball. That wasn't me.
So still put respect on his name.
The only thing that I said was his defense. The only thing that I tried him on.
I would say the main pick and roll thing is John Collins.
Not the money. No, David. Their main is Clint Capella.
You saw a dunk.
It is Clint Capella, but John Collins, but he could roll with anybody on that whole. He could like David said, he could roll with Collins as well. He could roll with other bigs on that team.
I'm not saying he doesn't roll with them.
No, I get what you're saying.
Capella's their main guy.
Best option is with Clint Capella because he could easily throw an alley or pass the can. He's gonna dunk it or get the leg.
I mean, he's a facilitator of their offense. It works for that reason. Yes.
Whoa, you rather throw a lob to Capella than Collins? Run a pick and roll with Capella than Collins?
They both. He do.
Have you seen their games? Have you watched a Hawks game?
With both of them. I'm not saying he don't, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying.
The percentage is more higher with Clint than it is with Collins.
Well, here's the thing. Listen, I watched the Hawks game. Almost every play, it's a high pick and roll at the top of the key, and with the roll, it's either that lob to Capella or that floater.
Or shoot the three.
Every time. Every time.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I never said those words this season.
Yeah, I think it's more.
Yeah. I'm glad you said this season because you was definitely catching Trey Young last year.
That was good, wasn't it? No, but I'm just saying you can I'm personally saying when the times get tough late in the playoffs, defense is going to have to matter. Plain and simple. Moving on. At number 3 in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is this a surprise to y'all?
No.
No, Mitchell's a beast.
Yes.
That team is actually bound. Like I said in the
I think adding that piece to the Cavs helped them out a lot.
Like I said in the summer, I mean, I don't even think they need a small forward now because Isaac Coro, he doing his job. He doing that defensive minded work. And then you got the Mobley. Then you got Jerry. Oh my gosh, that team is just so amazing to watch. No cap.
I mean, this team has been playing. I mean, it's crazy is that the later in the season it gets, it looks like they've been playing together for years. Garland has been hooping out. Mobley is back from injuries and hooping. LeVert, Kevin Love has been hooping too. Even late in his career, he's still out there hooping. Jared Allen, obviously one of the best big men in the league. Dean Wade can shoot that thing when he needs to. I mean, they are all contributing to them to the team that they need to, and it's fun to watch, man. It's so much fun to watch.
And what I think is a huge key in that offense. I mean, not the offense, just the team. Donovan, I know Donovan's personality. He's not like that type player. Like he's not like that
selfish.
He's not a selfish type. He's very humble.
Yeah,
and he's very humble. Yes,
he's gonna do what to do to win. Just that's why I really love. And Darius Garland, he loved just feeding that rock. And I see his personality too. It's just all that.
They're complementing each other so well.
They are.
And it's like when you get superstars like that together, it's easy for them to clash. But I think they understand, like, yo, you want to go get yours? Go get yours. When you want to go get yours, go get yours. And I think both of them understands that. Number 1 is Donovan Mitchell. But that doesn't need to be said because any of them can go get the bucket if they need to. Any of them can go to the bucket if they need to. And just watching them play, man, it's fun to watch. I'm definitely enjoying watching Cavs basketball right now.
Yeah.
So do we think the Cavs can do it all this season and make it to the finals?
They have potential, but I don't think I don't think they make it to the finals.
I'll say
said no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say straight flat no, just for this season. But because this season, I mean, obviously they putting together.
And then they have other teams. They have like 2 teams that they also have to beat to get past that to get to the finals.
See, I think they can, but I think there's one team that's going to give everyone in the East obviously a problem, and that's the Bucks. Because no one can guard Giannis.
Exactly.
No one.
But not even the Bucks. Like we were speaking, because it's still early in the season. When the Heat in the playoffs, they play good as well.
But here's something. You're 100% right. But here is something that I'm very impressed by the Cavs. Their defense. Has been outstanding. Watch. They were playing. I would love to know who I was. I wish I knew who it was. It might have. Who was it? I don't remember who it was.
Might have who?
I was gonna say it might have been Golden State, but it wasn't Golden State.
Yeah,
I was about to say because Curry definitely dropped the 40 ball.
Hey, Curry. Hey, that last shot she had counted because he got.
I know who it was. It was when they played Boston. They were down in Boston pretty much the whole entire game. Or it was like lead changes back and forth. But then watching,
You talking about that game where both of them scored 41, Karis LeVert and Donovan?
that might have been the one, but they never gave up. I think they were down about like 15 at one point. They fought back and won 132 to 123. So I mean, watching that game showed me that they have heart. They got that defense that they need to play it, and they definitely aren't giving up. Like they're just not. And so that's why I would say Cavs, they have potential to be a team to be feared coming into the playoffs, especially.
Well,
But number 2 in the East, the Boston Celtics, man, sitting at 10-3. So
the former finalists, but didn't win.
So how do we feel about the Celtics, man? How do we think their future? What do we think their future holds?
Still the same team, still looking good. A powerful team from the East too.
Not a final, always an Eastern Conference Finals team. They're not a finals team this year. I wouldn't say.
I would. Jason Tatum.
I was about to say they have potential to make it to the finals again. Yes, they do. They can definitely make it to the finals again.
Jason Tatum is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. He is
Tatum
butter.
Brown. Them two there. Tatum and Brown. Them two there.
And I think, and now they're complementing each other really well.
Score.
Honestly speaking, I know just because the records coexist or whatever, but honestly speaking, the Nets are really freaking better than the now with they coach and they're figuring out all this stuff as the
take with your Nets, please. Because
let me say why I don't know about that yet. We cannot base the Nets off of three games. We can't.
You can't.
We have to see defense. That's something the Celtics rely on, and they're really good at it. Defense. If can the Nets play defense like the Celtics can? Right now, I don't think so.
No, I don't think they're competing with Celtics defense.
So until we see more of the sample size from them, I can't say the Nets are better. I just can't.
I agree.
So you would never mind. I ain't gonna go in.
Go ahead. I want to hear. I really want to hear your opinion.
When you do come on and tell me things, bro, who can guard KD? Who can guard Kyrie? Ben Simmons, once he get that confidence back, that's why I said throughout the season. I'm not basing on
Celtics can because Celtics stopped them in the finals. I mean, in the playoffs.
They stopped only KD banged up. No, not banged up KD, but they stopped KD. The whole team was banged up.
Okay, right.
But y'all just killed.
But you just said the Celtics defense is now on the Nets defense.
Y'all just killed me for saying something about the Hawks playing a defensive team in that playoff series. So you can't blame defense.
What?
Listen, here's the thing. I think they can guard. I mean, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. Right now. I mean, they're number 1 in points per game. Like they're averaging almost 20 points, 120 points per game. The Nets can't play that defense. They can't play that high level defense. I just don't think they can.
Trust me. That's why I said when Ben Simmons found that confidence throughout this season, you'll see you're going to see a whole huge difference. You're going to be like, oh dang, they was right.
Here's the thing: you got Jason Tatum, an elite scorer in the league. Yeah,
put Ben Simmons on.
You got Jaylen Brown, elite scorer of the league.
Put Edmund Sumner
on. Derek Walker off the bench has been I think he starts. He starts.
Derek White.
I mean White, not Walker. White.
You don't really need nobody. I mean he's a good.
I mean I think he showed last season in the playoffs that you're gonna find somebody. Even if it's not even scoring, facilitating the offense. Malcolm Brogdon, who's their starting, who they just brought in, makes a difference.
Can any of them boys score better than Kyrie or KD?
Yes, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
What?
I will say it. I will say it right now. I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Here's the thing. I think they are better as a team, as teammates right now. In a 7-game series, I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are more effective than Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant.
See,
Clip it if you want. Personally, that's my thought.
Kyrie Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are offensive minded. I mean, like you said, Celtics is based off of just a whole lot of defense. You got to have some plugins too where you can play some defense. Like Celtics got offensive defense. That's why I said throughout this season, I feel like it's a more defensive minded season for the Nets because obviously they got Ben Simmons too. So it's trying to figure out that defensive role. But that's why I said like wait till the like middle part of the season. You'll see they'll be like near each other.
I mean, we'll update this because we'll probably do this a couple more times this season, throughout the season. But I mean, you got Al Horford and Robert Williams. Who's going to guard Robert Williams on that team?
You got Clax.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Marcus Smart as well. Like this team is not Grant Williams as well. This team is this team. Listen, I would say that Boston has more scores.
Yes.
And are more of a complete team than the Brooklyn Nets. Plain and simple.
I was just about to say. I would say Celtics offense are like in the Eastern. I would give them either that 1 or 2 spot.
Yeah,
because they have one of the best offense. They do. You cannot deny it.
Yeah,
it's proven. It's proven on stats wise too that they have a good offense.
I never said the Celtics gonna be like 1 or 2. I said, but the Nets will be near them.
But you just said you pretty much saying that the Nets would stop them on defense. No, they not. No, they wouldn't.
I never said on defense. I said on paper.
I mean offense. Yeah, you said they had stopped them on offense. No, they wouldn't. Nets is not stopping the Celtics. I'm sorry. Celtics is scoring on them.
Lord have mercy. I said.
Anyways, yeah,
number one.
Yeah, let's go to the number one. Thank you, Bucks.
We'll see.
The Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, number 1 team in the East right now.
Right.
Talk to me about them, y'all. How do they look?
For some reason,
Giannis can't be stopped. The Greek freak. Offense looking good. Defense.
For some reason, I don't even got them. I mean, I got them going to Eastern Conference Finals, but for some reason, I ain't got them going to the finals because I don't know. It's just I don't know. The East is way stronger, and then I don't know.
I will say East could pull more of a shocker than the West can.
Yeah.
Because you would think a team on the East like, oh yeah, they definitely gonna make it to the finals, and it's a shocker. Like nobody thought the Celtics was gonna beat the Bucks, and they did.
That is true.
So, granted, that was without
How you gonna just get on me about the injuries or whatever? Are you gonna say something about the injuries?
No, I mean I was already on the injury bandwagon, but that was without Chris Middleton. And here's what's so great about this team is that even without Chris Middleton, this team is 10-2.
I'm about to say they still look good without him.
So imagine adding your number one point guard, your number 2 scorer and facilitator to this team.
I could agree with that. Yeah,
it's gonna branch out, man. I'm just saying. I think the Bucks can go back to the finals, and I think they can go back and win. And so once people figure that,
didn't the Celtics and the Bucks game went to Game 7 as well?
Yeah, of course it did.
Oh yeah.
And so I think it'll be a dogfight at the end of the day. When it comes to the East, it's fun,
definitely
man.
Those top 2 teams right there, though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I think the Bucks are still favorite to win it all. Celtics are fun to watch, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are sleepers. That's how it is right now. That's how it's matching up.
I agree.
But any final thoughts on the Eastern Conference?
No final thoughts.
The Nets are the major sleepers of the East.
All right, I'm done. Let's end this.
I have been your host, Davion. That's David. That's Elijah. And this has been the post game. Peace.